Sadly enough, Cranberry Woods will be on its way back to the store. Like, I'm so over it, and it's getting on my last nerve. Like, seriously, look, every time I turn around, I light a candle, and then everything's going good, great throw, great burn, and then boom, like, I get hit with the dud every single time, and I just don't know what gives. But, I realize that it's nobody's fault but mine, and I just keep going back like, Folio over here, but I don't know, I'm just kind of thinking, well, maybe this year is different, it's gonna get better. Yeah, I'm so glad I'm done with fall, almost, because it's been up and down. So here we have a 3-wick in Cranberry Woods, just struggling right now. One of the wicks just, like, extinguished itself out, and the other two are just, like, barely making the cut. Like, they're just like, look, LBD, take me back. Why do you even care? Like, let it go. So it's here burning aimlessly, giving off no throw, no satisfaction whatsoever. It's just a complete disaster. Alright, so this one says, let's see, fresh tart cranberries, black currant, and warm cinnamon bark combine in a delightful fragrance inspired by the magic of the woods during harvest time. So, yeah, it's pretty much a disaster. This is a 3rd day burn, of course, so let's get started. Alright, so some of you guys are saying, don't trim the wigs, don't do this, don't do that. Mind you, I've been a fan since before candles even came into the picture with BBW. So I think I kind of know what I'm doing, but you guys say don't trim the wicks. And I haven't, like, left them alone in so long. I'm thinking, okay, well, let me just leave them, let them be, and just light them. So, taking your advice, I didn't trim the wicks, lit the candle. Disaster. Like, right then and there, it's like I knew something said don't do that, but I did it, and let me tell you, the flames were high for like 20 seconds. After the 20 seconds was over, the wicks, sorry, they literally, like, it looked like they were just disintegrating, like they just shrunk right then and right before my eyes. They shrunk. So I'm like, oh, well, that's neat. And of course, when the wicks shrink, the flames are going to shrink. The flames went from 10 to 1 in like 20 seconds top. It was crazy. So I'm left with nubby little flames, nubby little wicks, thanks to you guys. So I'm like, you know what? Whatever. So I let the candle burn, burn, and burn. I'm talking 3 hours, nothing. Absolutely nothing. The wax pool, like, clovered. It just tunneled all the way down the center. So I'm like, okay, get the cotton balls out and see what happens. So got the cotton balls out, did its thing. The flames, they grew. So I'm like, okay, that's a start. So everything was looking kind of good. By then it's like, okay, I'm tired of it. I want to blow it out, but I'm thinking I have to let it keep burning. After 9 hours of burning like a marathon here, it finally kind of like worked itself out. So I'm like, okay, this is looking kind of good. Still couldn't smell a thing. Couldn't smell a thing, but at least it's getting better. So the wax pool melted out in, let's say, about 10 hours with no throw. And it was like not even a full pool. It's just like, kind of like half of an inch, just barely making it. Like I said, burning aimlessly with nothing to just show for. So I'm like, all right, I'm blowing it out, calling it a day. So I'm like, okay, 2nd day. I decided, let me just trim the wicks just a little bit to get that little white crap off of the wicks. And by the way, the wicks were super thin, and like the thin white wicks, the flat ones, it just kind of are a gamble. But the Garden Freesia candle had these wicks, and that one burned like a charm. So it's a gamble, you never know. So trim the white crap off of the wicks, and I lit it, and everything worked out. I'm like, okay, great. So the wax melted, pulled out in about, let's say, 30 minutes, and then the throw kicked in after. So everything kind of fell together and kicked into gear in about a little more than an hour. So maybe an hour and a half, everything was looking good. Deep, even wax pool, high flames, everything was great. Could smell it, beautiful. Let it burn for maybe 6 to 7 hours, because I was just scared that if I didn't let itself correct, then it would just, end up in flames again. Everything's great. I'm thinking, okay, I'm optimistic again. Let me just blow it out, call it a day. So we're at mid-range, third day, boom, total disaster. It's just like the pits. I lit the wicks and no wax pull at all. It just didn't. Tunneled, clovered all the way down the center. And I'm like, you know what? Cotton balls, tried it again. Didn't even work. Let me show you really quickly, like an overhead view. So as you can see, poor thing, that one just died. And the wax is like turning icky. These flames are barely making it. And yeah, it's a dud. Like, it's a dud in disguise. It's just a dud, period. So that's pretty much what it is. So I've tried all the tricks of the trade, tried the cotton balls. I didn't do the tin foil because I'm not doing all that mess, but did the cotton balls, didn't work. Let it burn out, hours and hours, didn't work. So, you know what happens. It goes back to the store. So, that's what we're looking at with the performance. It's just up and down, going further down. It's a dud. And I can't smell it still, so that's that. And when I could smell it on the second day, it was just a medium throw. And then today, just nothing. No throw. It's been burning for about, let's say, 4 hours and absolutely nothing. So that's the performance part of it. Now the scent, like when this scent first came out, I'm going to go back a little bit. I loved it. It was excellent. And this was back when I wasn't privy to, like, you know, test stores and all that stuff. I was just, you know, simple fan, going in, smelling around. I remember going in and seeing the 4-ouncer of it. I'm like, oh, that's new. I've never seen this before. It was just kind of new. Smelled it, instant fan. I'm like, okay, this is no cranberry woods. This is, or no forest. What am I saying right now? Forest cranberry. This is no frosted cranberry. This is something a little bit different, a little bit better in my opinion. Smelling it, had to get it. Luckily they had when they were doing like the small candle sales. So I got it for like $5. It was great. 3-wick came in shortly after. Fell in love. I grabbed 6 of them. So the scent itself is excellent. You know, sometimes I'll get like cranberry sauce a little bit, but then I also get like a deep, rich cranberry. Luckily, I don't smell any blackcurrant because I hate blackcurrant when they do it. I mean, I don't mind it in other scents, but when they do it, not a fan. So you get tart, rich cranberries. You get like woodsy notes, a little bit of kind of like a cedarwood musky note. Cinnamon bark, kind of, but not really. But you're really getting a deep, rich cranberry. Almost, like I said, almost like a cranberry sauce. It just smells really good. It's warm, it's inviting, it's guest friendly. It's not going to choke anyone out by any means. I've been having it around for years and it's always been really pleasant. So, wow, I've been talking for so long, like 8 minutes straight. Let me just kind of wrap it up. In a nutshell, you know what the scent is. It's cranberry woods. I wouldn't recommend this one, but if you want to get it, I've heard that, you know, other people's work, so great for them, but not for me. So that's pretty much it. And with that being said, this is going back and I'm done. So thanks again for listening and watching. I really appreciate it. You know, to comment, rate, subscribe. That's a must. Plus, it's mandatory. As always, God bless, and I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks. Love you much. Bye.